Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome back. Come on in. I have an interesting, broken, crappy toy to show you today. So before I get rolling, get comfy, grab a coffee, grab a tea, and grab a snack. Make sure that chair is cozy and comfy. Because I'm going to tell you why in the collector world, the collector addictions, we do the things we do. And in this case, I bought this broken but beautiful Tetsujin Train, another Tetsujin Train. Man, he loves his trains, huh? And this came out of Yahoo, Japan. And it was flying under the radar for a while, but I didn't suspect that it would. And of course, at the end, a bunch of people bid it up to stratospheric heights, but not as bad as I would have suspected. So before we get rolling also, if you're a lurker, just perusing, please subscribe. Now that I got that out of the way. So anyway, I actually have this toy, the train, and I'm going to show you the train first. It is a basket case. Well, actually, I'm kind of get into the mindset of this because I usually show the box, and I'll get with the box first because, the boxes, as you know, usually add 2 or 3 or 4 times the value of the toy, and this is no different, maybe more in this case, because this box probably hasn't been available more than 1 or 2 other times in 25 years. And that was, of course, the appeal. And a lot of people had never even seen this box before. Sometimes you're like, does this thing even have a box? Does it exist? But I'm here to tell you, here is the box. And of course, it's got this beautiful Tetsujin flying away with the M logo there. Nice scenery. Man, I tell you, Tetsujin loves his vehicles. Looks like they kind of almost tried to clean it a little bit, but I will probably send this off. Get those nice portraits in there. To get a little TLC. Even got the sticker retained here. But you see how this flap needs to be folded up and into the bottom? But it's fairly complete. As you can see here. No rips or tears. A little litho loss right here, which I have to decide, do I want them to fill it in? And if you fill it in, how do you fill it in? You can kind of surmise what you would color in there, right? Like those lines in the color. And I guess finish off the smoke. It's not terrible for an artist to kind of figure that out. That's what they do. They color it in. They literally, an artist, like in this case at Anthony Restorations, let's say, Kim would just hand paint that in. But other than that, some people wouldn't do that. They would just say, leave it alone, leave it alone. But you got some chipping over here, but I don't know. It looks like somebody tried to clean it. And I don't know. It kind of looks like, I don't know, they wiped it or something. But anyway, so the toy itself is a mess. It's crushed. See how it's crushed over here? Somebody obviously pressed it down. This part is crushed. But to get the box, I said, the hell with it. See how I'm going to actually probably send this to John. But, the good news is I have that toy. I haven't unpacked it yet. Let me swing over my laptop here and show you what I'm talking about. So this is the toy that I won from Mandaraki. And you can see it's complete. So what does this busted toy have going on? Well, right here you can see it's missing. You see this part right here? I don't know what you would call that, like the brackets that hold the wheel. That's completely gone over here. Without having a reference point, you wouldn't even know it. But here you can see, okay, something was attached over here. Also, this ladder here, that's missing, which explains why there's these 2 holes here. So the ladder is missing. And also, you could tell where it's crushed, because it's clearly pushed in over here. Should not be like that. And let's see what else. Now, you might be wondering, why didn't you show us the good toy? It's because I haven't unpacked it. If I would have unpacked it, I would have shown it to you. Let me see. Here's the arrow. And also, I didn't have this on my... So let's compare the top here. Top looks about the same, but obviously this part here needs to be pulled out, the dented corner. And the other thing is, you could see where the ladder is missing back here, which is right there on the picture. I'll just kind of zoom in on that. Usually have my tablet, but I didn't have my tablet available for this. And then this isn't a touch screen. Whoop. Did I win that motorcycle? Maybe I did. Okay, and here's the side. So the only other thing I'm trying to figure out, without looking at it, so this front here, see how it's pushed out? Needs to be somehow aligned better. Now, interestingly enough, like, you know, the person that got me this toy said, do you want to, you know, keep the toy? I said, well, I mean, you know, because he would have tried to sell it for me. And I said, well, you never know. I mean, like, what if I'm missing a part? But obviously I'm not missing any parts from the one I want. And that went relatively cheap at Mondaraki, one of the few. But you could see here the front. So I will probably send this to John if John's listening. I think you could pretty much take this apart. The tabs are pretty strong on this. And, you know, put it back together. You know why? Because, like, so the two things that are missing, the ladder and this thing here, you could attach those after the fact. And underneath here, oh, there's the wheel. And the wheels keep coming off. Under here, I don't think you would need to take this apart to attach that. I mean, I could be wrong, but the chances that I would find that are kind of like infinitesimal. You know, what are the odds that I would find another one? A junker, let's say, just to have, I mean, because this is literally a junker. Now, the other scenario would be that I find one that's decent enough that is in good shape, that this one here could be the donor, you know. And if I really wanted to, I suppose I could copy the box maybe and then have a nice example for somebody else with a nice copy of the box. I know some people hate copying boxes. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it sometimes, but no, I mean, I don't really care if it's a collector that has the piece and they want the box. I don't see anything wrong with it. But anyway, from a collecting standpoint, there's the shaft. I pressed this back on with my hand. I'm like that, again, I always say I'm like very impatient. So this thing's digging into my skin. I'm like, I don't care. I can't wait. I got to do it. I got to do it. And I did, man. That thing was digging into my hand, but I said, screw it. But this is what we go through. You know, when you're committed and you want to be a completionist, you do crazy stuff like this. In this case, you know, you overpay a little bit to get something rare. I mean, the odds that I would have come across this box, it might have taken another 20 years and I could be like 6 feet under by then. So I didn't feel like waiting. And, you know, the toy itself, again, it's, you know, other than missing the two components, I think it could be brought back to life. And really, in all honesty, now, the friction drive here, doesn't seem like it's doing much, so maybe could look inside there. But, you know, this toy could be fixed, and even missing the ladder, or you could actually, you know, before I even say that, you know, the other option is I could look just on regular friction trains. I mean, I guarantee you they use this pressing on other toys. So now if I want to do my due diligence, right, I could probably find a friction train that's this body that has the ladder, and the ladder is just black. And then the connecting apparatus there, even if it's a different litho, you could still put it just to make it sort of complete. So that's my options. And I figured, let me show you this. I wouldn't normally show you a toy in this condition, but figure this is kind of like a part one to an extremely rare toy, which with a crazy rare box. And you'll see the before. And then if John decides to tackle it, you know, he'll maybe do a repair video on it, put this thing back together. But now that I thought of it, I'll look for donor parts first before I even send it off. And, you know, then maybe I'll do some TLC on the box as well. And then you can see it kind of like put together. And we'll see if I can cobble together a nice secondary toy to offer somebody that, you know, doesn't have to spend an arm and a leg for it. Not that it'll be cheap. So that's it. As always, I appreciate your time. Let me know what you think. And let's get this toy out of the way here. at its broken axle and hone in on this beautiful box, which is the star of it. So if you like it, thumb it up, leave a remark. As always, I appreciate your time. And again, if you're a lurker, please subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I'll talk to you later.